Zidane Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the latest episode of Miraculous, Illusion. Now, this episode was really interesting, and honestly, oh boy, there are a lot of things that people should be picking up on, and they're not. But we'll talk about this. Let's go ahead and get started. So, at the beginning of this episode, Adrian is grappling with the idea of alliance. He doesn't trust it, which, thank goodness that he doesn't trust it, and that's honestly really good. But he's one of the big things that they are trying to get across in this, with this whole arc, is actually talking about how dangerous it is to make this type of thing. And honestly, I'm so glad that at least someone is talking about it. And that, of course, is digitizing actors. This is something that a lot of people, especially actors, do not appreciate. A lot of companies are thinking, oh, this will save us a lot of time. And in certain situations, it can be a good thing, such as if an actor ages to a point that really doesn't work, such as with the recent Mandalorian show and Book of Boba Fett, being able to digitally de-age certain actors, especially if you're going to be doing something that involves the actors at a younger age, that is actually a really awesome process. Being able to do that so that these characters can continue to play important roles. But one thing that I think is important with this is that the original actor should still be involved. So, just for an example, in Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, throughout both of those, Mark Hamill was actually involved. He actually they actually had him act out each of these scenes, and then they digitally de-aged him. There were a lot of things with that whole process, but it was part of the whole idea that he would be the character. He was still portraying the character, and I think that that was a good way to handle it. And if you are going to be doing something with an actor who has passed, I think that at least working with the family is an important factor. Having them be able to do certain things like that is really important, and that's something that we need to be thinking about with the digital age. But with what is currently happening with Adrian is unacceptable. The person that is digitally made should have some say in what is going on, but in these episodes, he has no say. People can make him look however they want. People can make him say whatever they want. It's something that Plague shows, that by that he can basically make Adrian say all these things about cheese, and Plague likes it, but Adrian is disgusted with it, with the idea that they can make him say whatever they want. It's unacceptable. It's an extremely dangerous thing, and he has issues with it. And he brings up these issues with his father. Obviously, his father is gaslighting him, and there are a lot of things wrong with this whole situation. We see a lot of really bad situations. A lot of what is going on with Adrian and his father is very dangerous, and I am not the one to be talking about this, but I'm sure that I would love to actually work with a child psychiatrist to talk about the specific everything that is happening with Adrian right now, to actually dissect a lot of these things, because there's a lot wrong with this whole situation. So I might look into that, but it's gonna be probably a ways off. So just something to think about for the future. Don't jump into conclusions that we're going to be talking about this anytime soon. But at some point, I would love to talk to a child psychiatrist about everything that's going on within the Miraculous, specifically with Adrian, because that's a lot of mental abuse that is going on. And especially throughout this episode, Adrian is basically told early on that he can go to school, he can be a part of all of these things, he can go to for the first time ever, he is able to go to the cafeteria, have lunch with his friends in the cafeteria, and that's a great thing for him. And it's truly amazing that he's actually able to hang out with his friends without having all these responsibilities. And I love it. I love that this is a thing. And obviously there are issues that are going on, but one of the other things is that people are continuing to gaslight Marinette when it comes to Lila. Oh boy, there are so many things wrong with Lila. And obviously, Marinette knows these things. She knows that there's something very off about Lila, and there are people who are able to immediately, when they meet somebody, realize this is a bad person, and we should avoid them at all costs. And I think that is really infuriating, and so many of these things. And I'm surprised that Marinette and Alya haven't talked about all of these things, like, and Alya hasn't put together the pieces yet that Lila is a huge liar. Throughout everything that she's been seeing, it's insane. There's so many details of it, and it's just, I don't know. It's annoying. To say the least, there are a lot of issues with Lila, and I hate her. I think everyone hates her and can't wait for her to die. Anyways, Nino is basically forming a resistance, and this is something else that Marinette really should be more careful with. She's losing hope very quickly. She doesn't know what to do, but she doesn't also she doesn't know that Gabriel Agreste is taking a lot of risks. Hawkmoth is taking a lot of risks, and no one's really aware of it except for her, except for him. And obviously, Natalie is also going to be involved with this, but we'll just have to wait and see exactly what's going to happen as the future unfolds, because there's a lot within this episode that is just little bits and pieces that are coming together, and I cannot wait to see exactly what they do with each and every single one of these. And obviously, Adrian and Gabriel, they're working through their situation. It's bad. It is a bad way to do it, but obviously, yeah, we'll talk more about it as we continue, as we go. But Marinette and Adrian are really getting closer, and it's insane to think about that Marinette is very, very careful about trying not to fall in love with him. Well, Adrian is just straight up falling in love with her. And I think it's funny that Adrian is realizing that there's probably not a very good chance of him getting together with Ladybug at this point in time, because of she's stressed. He doesn't want to add on the stress of being in a relationship to her. There's a lot of things with that, but he is also starting to feel connections with Marinette, and needless to say, there's a lot of things with that. I think that Adrian is starting to also realize that Lila is not a good person. He's cautious. Obviously, I think he's starting to see a little bit with what Marinette is seeing, but at the same time, it's, like, not clear, which, I don't know. There's lots of things wrong with it. And then comes the actual moment, the plan, to reakumatize Mr. Agreste, aka Gabriel, into making there be an issue. And honestly, there is a lot with it. With this whole situation, Gabriel is learning more and more. But another thing that bugs me is that he's also not using the Alliance properly. Like, Alia literally has an alliance. It was using an alliance to talk to Marinette, and Gabriel doesn't have anything to, like, check if people say the word ladybug. Like, obviously people are going to say the word ladybug, but there's nothing in that that's gonna be like, someone literally just told someone that they are ladybug. Like, he should have hopped onto that. Everyone is making mistakes at this point in time, and someone needs to actually realize what's going on. I don't know what they're gonna do, but needless to say, I'm really excited to see what they're gonna be doing. But with that, he uses illusion, and this is actually really awesome fight choreography, because as we're throughout the entire episode, the Collector never gets touched, like, at all. Throughout the entirety of the episode, he is never touched by anyone. He is constantly moving, and that is brilliant, because it is showing that Gabriel is very, very cautious. He is trying to get this character moving. If even one gets hit on this guy, he will evaporate, and instantly everything goes away. It's honestly really cool. But on top of this, a good majority of this is just to throw away, to get as much press off of him as possible. And needless to say, I am terrified to see what exactly is going to be continuing on, because he brings them to the sewer, tries to sting them, but then obviously Marinette realizes that, yep, he's not gonna, there is something going on here, and is able to catch him off guard. Which, also, another thing, obviously, Hawkmoth is there, so they do kind of realize certain things with that, but Hawkmoth obviously causes, freaking, he runs off, but also then Gabriel Agreste falls into the water, which obviously dissipates the illusion, and then in comes Hawkmoth, aka Gabriel, as himself, and it's just like, what the frill? I don't know, there's just so much with it, and it's just like, why are you, I don't know. I don't know why they didn't do anything with that. Also, Marinette didn't use the miraculous, didn't say miraculous ladybug at the end of the episode, which is kind of interesting. I wonder why. Obviously, like, nothing actually got very few things got damaged. More than likely, she actually did, but we just didn't see it. Hard to say. We'll see exactly what, obviously, certain things probably did happen, but I don't know. Hard to say for now. And with that, Marinette and Adrien, they do get to see a little bit of the footage to see exactly how Hawkmoth is sending the powers, which, of course, this was an illusion, so all of that is fake, but it's sending through lightning, which I think is a very dangerous thing, because Hawkmoth at the end says there's no way that they're going to connect the Alliance to the Miraculous, and honestly, that's weird. That is very weird to me, that there's no connection. There's no, he thinks that there's not going to be a connection, but lightning, and also every single person that has been akumatized has an alliance. That is something that is really, they should be looking into. Now, granted, alliance is everywhere, and currently, as far as I'm aware, the only people who are not using alliance are Marinette and Adrien, and that's it. No one else is not using it. Pretty much every single person in the city of Paris is getting these things. It looks like there might be a few people who don't have them yet, but so many people have these alliances. Like, Alia and Nino, like, Marinette should be telling her, I would not use an alliance, because if we need to actually if we do get the Miraculouses back, he's going to be able to track you. They're it's gonna put your information out there, and even if Gabriel doesn't know that you are Rena Rouge, that information is on the cloud, and it was enough to target Suckling. Why are people not putting these pieces together? That is infuriating, because literally in the last episode, Suckling was targeted because of Alliance. How did Marinette not realize that? But I don't know. Obviously, there are certain things with that, yeah, maybe there was something that just happened between them, but that she didn't see. I don't know. There's lots of things that she could be thinking, but at the same time, like, you're being dumb. Everyone is being dumb, and it's hilarious. Like, he's not making proper use of the Alliance. They're not making proper use of really anything. They're not putting together the pieces. I don't know. We'll see exactly how things turn out by the end of this. But yeah. Obviously, we now have the Resistance, which I think is going to be very interesting to see how exactly that's going to play out in the future episodes. Because they have now formed the Resistance, which is pretty much everyone who's had a Miraculous in the past, except for Lila. Lila is in this for whatever reason. Like, that is so bad. Like, if... With that, obviously, Lila is going to be seen as, yep, you are clearly the bad guy here. I don't know. We'll see exactly how things play out as the story continues. I don't know. Obviously, there is a lot more to be happening, and I'm starting to really want to watch the next few episodes, even though they're not out publicly here in America, officially, legally. But I've been hearing certain details about them, and it's just like, need to see them. I need to see them. Unfortunately, yeah, we're not going to be going over each of these episodes. We're just going to be sticking to the official, legal thing, as this mostly helps me out with making sure that my videos, I don't suddenly have to make like 1,000 videos all at once. But yeah, obviously, I think that there's also a really interesting factor that Gabriel is forming his own team, and something about that really bugs me. Like, obviously, we now know that Kagami's mother, I always forget what her name is, but she is part of his team. Obviously, Natalie's been a part of the team. She's a bit iffy anyways, but Lila is part of the team, and there's something about that is immediately drawing my connection, because she tells Gabriel, but she specifically makes sure that he knows that he is the target. But I think that there's also something, obviously, I think she knows that he is Hawkmoth. Obviously, he's being careful, but he specifically asks her why should he be aware of this. And, like, I think that's mostly just covering his tail, because I think he has told her that he is Hawkmoth, and needless to say, I am very excited to see how that plays out. So, at this point in time, we have 3 confirmed people that are part of his team. 1, Kagami's mom. I always forget her name. 2, Natalie, and 3, Lila. But I think there might be more. Specifically, I think that, a certain someone, specifically Chloe's mother, might also be involved with this, and possibly already know that he's Hawkmoth. I mean, it's kind of suspicious that immediately after she arrives, she gets akumatized. I have a feeling that they had that planned. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see exactly what they're going to be doing as things continue with this. But I don't know. Something with that feels very off. And I think that she might know. I think that meeting that we had a few last season might have something to do with this. Or I don't know if it was last season. It might have been the season before. The point is that meeting with the adults, something tells me that is very, very important to who exactly is on the team. Now, obviously, I think that Chloe is part of the team, but she doesn't know that Hawkmoth and Gabriel are the same person. we'll have to wait and see exactly what they do. But obviously she's she's been doing some really fucked up things. So we'll see exactly how things play out with that. Um but I feel like there's several other characters that are going to be involved as we continue onward. So we'll have to be very vigilant to watch exactly how things play out. But I, for one, am really excited to see exactly what they do as this whole season of Miraculous continues on. Honestly, it's really hard to say exactly what's going to be happening as we continue on. Obviously, there are some really big episodes coming along. I think Determination is next, so we'll talk about that soon. I don't know the exact episode, but yeah, soon things are going to be getting a bit chaotic, to say the least, and we will be continuing to see more and more Miraculous. And I think that hopefully Marinette and Adrien are able to stop this, but we'll have to wait and see. But one other thing that has kind of been bothering me since really the beginning is that since Hawkmoth got his hands on the Miraculous, he has yet to use any newbies, any new people. No one has gotten a Miraculous gotten akumatized for the first time. Everyone has shown up at least once. Ikari Gozen has shown up. Obviously the Collector, and I think that's it. I think there might have been somebody else, but the point is that no one has gotten a new akumatization, a new power. Yeah, there was Darker Owl as well. So everyone that we've seen that has gotten akumatized has been akumatized before. So that leads me to wonder, is he done akumatizing new people? Now, obviously, there are certain things with that, and I think that part of the reason is because one of the biggest things, especially when you're doing 3D models, or really any animation of any type, is reusing assets. And I talked a little bit about this during my video about the video game, in that they should send over the models. But when you're dealing with a lot of different things like this, it's best to reuse models for certain situations. So if you have a model, reuse it as many times as you can. So, and it's part of the reason, no time that we've ever seen people people don't use a Miraculous once and then never use it again. Every single person that has been, that has had a model, has had a specific model, they want to reuse these as much time as possible. So the fact that that every single villain is getting redone leads me to think that more than likely what they're planning to do is at some point giving every single Miraculous to different people. Or making everyone get akumatized again and some big event. It's hard to say exactly, and obviously, I don't think that they're gonna redo a lot of the other villains. So like, obviously, I don't think we're gonna be seeing Hawkmoth or Shadowmoth ever again, but I do think that we will probably be seeing. I don't think that we're also never. I don't think we're ever gonna see original version of Monarch, which I think is really weird that they only had like 2 episodes of that. We'll see exactly what they play with in the future, but yeah. But the point is that they've got to reuse these models to actually make things better. I think that it will be very interesting, and more than likely we will have seen, by the end of this season, I think that we will have seen every single model that they have used in the past at least once. So I think that we're going to be seeing every single extra costume change that they've had. I think we're going to see every single villain one more time. I don't think that we're going to be seeing every single villain that we've seen in the past with that has been akumatized with for the kids. I don't think that that's going to be the case, but I think that everyone else is probably going to get re-akumatized. We'll probably see Weredad again. We'll probably see Sheelan. We'll probably see pretty much every adult. We'll see Mr. Pigeon for sure. And yeah, who knows exactly? We'll see. I'm hoping that that everything turns out well. Obviously, it's probably not, but we'll have to wait and see. And I think that it's going to be a very fun time as as the series continues. And Ladybug and Cat Noir are going to be teaming up more and more. And I think that they might need to actually start communicating with each other just so that they understand what's at stake and who is a threat, who is not a threat. And Marinette should talk to Adrien / Cat Noir about what she knows about Lila, because Lila is a just complete liar and is not a good person, and I don't think very many people understand that. Obviously, I think that Adrien does understand that, but he's trying to be a little bit more civil. We'll see. Things are cautious. Be very cautious with the future of Miraculous. But anyways, guys, this has been a longer episode. We'll probably talk more about Miraculous before too long. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja, and I will see you guys next time. But on